Hey, what's up, folks? Joel here. Welcome to my new channel. Gonna check out my bikes in a few minutes. Rainy day here in Connecticut. And I already messed up this introduction on like 3 or 4 counts, but that's what I do. Yeah, so the purpose of this channel is to basically just share my riding and life experiences right here in good old Connecticut. I've been riding for a very long time. I'm retired, so I've got some time. So I hope that I can bring some interesting content. Today we're going to adjust my handlebars on the Indian Scout Bobber. I've been riding with the handlebars a little bit too far forward. I'm not the tallest person in the world, so reach has been a little bit of an issue. So hopefully I can make an adjustment today and ride a little bit more comfortably. I'm sure I'll be able to do it, no big deal. This is basically as basic as it gets. You know, you loosen a couple of bolts, a few bolts here and there, and there you go. You got adjust the handlebars. At least that's what I'm thinking, but we'll find out soon. Let me introduce you to my motorcycles. Here I've got my 2020 Indian Scout Bobber 60. For you folks familiar with this motorcycle, you can tell that I've made some modifications. I got the mini 8 handlebars. I put the stage 1 exhaust. Added this little sissy bar from Dean Speed Customs. I wasn't really sure how that was gonna look, but I really like it. This little bad boy here is for my little grandson. I am a grandpa. His brother's getting ready to get another one. He loves that little thing. And over here we got my big boy, my 2005 Harley Davidson Road King. I put this little, well, not little, but I put this aftermarket front fairing on it from Reckless Motorcycle Fairings, some outfit that I found a few years ago online out of Tennessee. It's okay. If you compare it to an OEM front fairing, you can tell that there's a quality difference without question, but it works for me. So I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'll give you another show. Yeah, so these are my bikes.
Here is Priscilla's story.
I ended up losing.
So
my biggest stress, I think, was
loosened
not
up
knowing how I was going to be able
the
to
4
afford
instrument
medication. I went to the pharmacist and she's like, I already got it. Don't worry.
panel clamps
I just couldn't be
using a number 6 hex socket bit. Interesting. So this was an an install that I had done over at the dealership, and I just found out that these bolts weren't equally torqued out. One was actually fairly easy to undo. Scores the importance of kind of like just checking stuff, and you know, although this may have been, I don't know, beyond my skill set, but you know, doing your own work sometimes is better as long as it's within your reach. But this is fairly simple, you know, torquing something out. You should be able to do that without much difficulty, especially at the dealership level. But oh well. Well, let's see what happens. All right, folks, we're all set. So I adjusted these 4 bolts. I thought I was gonna have to adjust my mirrors and the controls here and over here, but none of that was necessary. Yes, you are hearing R&B in the background, but I have an eclectic taste in music, so you know, just depends on the day. Today is R&B, tomorrow might be rock and roll, who knows. All right, folks, next time you see me, we'll more likely not, yeah, we're gonna be on the road. As a matter of fact, without question, the next time you see me, we will be on the road. It'll be part of this video, so I'll see you then. But in regards to living in Connecticut, I like it. Now, for some of you who either are familiar with Connecticut or live in the Northeast, you might be surprised by that comment that I actually like living in Connecticut. I think Connecticut gets a bad rap. Having lived in Connecticut, I kind of know that from the outside in, folks have some misconceptions about Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican, so that's where that's lived in. But anyway, from the outside looking in, folks have misconceptions about Connecticut. The biggest one being that we're all rich. Well, let me tell you, that is not the case. And we'll be visiting some of the challenged communities in Connecticut, both in our cities and some of our rural areas. But believe me, if you're considering visiting Connecticut or maybe moving to Connecticut for whatever reason, you're not gonna be swarmed by a bunch of men and women in tweed coats and smoking their pipe tobacco. That is not really true. There is money though in Connecticut. There's money all over the place. Over by the southwestern area of Connecticut, that's over by Fairfield County. We get a lot of New Yorkers who work in New York but live in Connecticut, and they bring a lot of money into the state, as well as people who were born and raised in Connecticut who live in that area who bring a lot of money into the state. There's also Litchfield County, where There's a lot of cash up there. Even the area where I'm currently riding right now, this is a pretty rural community. And along the Connecticut River, just like anywhere else, waterfront properties, you've got some really beautiful homes in that area, very expensive homes in that area. But that's not the case as a whole in Connecticut. You've got challenged communities all over the place. You know, whether you're talking about our capital, Hartford, or some of our other major cities like Bridgeport, New Haven, New Britain, Connecticut, Waterbury, Connecticut. These are challenged communities. And then you have some rural communities that were former factory towns, like in a lot of other areas of the country where, you know, when manufacturing was big in Connecticut, those communities were thriving. And as soon as manufacturing died in Connecticut, just like in the rest of the country, well, there went all the jobs, and a huge economic void was left. So it's, you know, if you've heard that Connecticut, you know, life in Connecticut involves living next to a bunch of snobby, you know, rich people, that's not all true. Connecticut folks are just like folks everywhere else. You've got some people with money, but you also have a lot of folks who don't come from money, or, you know, or what have you. So we've made it onto 154 South. I believe right now we are in Haddam, Connecticut, approaching Chester, Connecticut. This route right here from Middletown, Connecticut, follows the Connecticut River heading towards the mouth of the Connecticut River, which goes into the Long Island Sound. And the towns along this route are just beautiful. I come down here often, and I mean, I've been here, I've been on this road countless times, and I never get tired of it. And we'll be visiting this road and the towns along it frequently over the next few videos. So today is just sort of like a quick introduction, just like my video, a quick introduction to what riding and living in Connecticut is like. But we're gonna make a quick stop over by the Connecticut River, overlooking the Goodspeed Opera House, one of the landmarks in Connecticut. And in this area, just thinking off the top of my head, there are a handful of, you know, premier spots in Connecticut. You got the Goodspeed Opera House, and you'll see the bridge that's adjacent to the Opera House, and a few beautiful Connecticut bridge. You also have Gillette's Castle. You've got the beautiful town of Essex. You've got the Essex steam train. You've got the town of Saybrook, Connecticut. Now we're traveling southeast, heading towards like the southeastern part of the state of Connecticut. Down at that area, we've got a couple casinos. We've got the Mohegan Sun, which is my favorite. I'm not a gambler, but I just like walking around there, and they've got some shopping there, so I like kind of doing that stuff. We also have Foxwoods, which is, I think, was the first one that was constructed. Both of these facilities are beautiful. If you're the partier, that's where you want to go. If you want to compare them to the casinos down in Atlantic City, New Jersey, I'd have to say that in terms of the overall ambiance, because this is definitely a significant upgrade. Yeah, so if gambling's your thing, Connecticut is a spot to visit, or at least include as a part of a motorcycle adventure into the Northeast. And seeing that I just mentioned the Northeast, I also like to point out that that's one of the nice things about living in Connecticut is that we have access to states like Vermont, easy access, you know, obviously Mass, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, New York. I've done riding in all of those states, and the riding in that area is just awesome. But when I say easy access, I'm saying that from Connecticut, again, at least where I'm located centrally, and Connecticut's not a very large state. I think it's the third smallest state in the Union. But I'm about an hour and a half away from the Catskill Mountains in New York, probably somewhere around 4 hours from the southern section of the Adirondacks, probably 2.5 hours to 3 hours from the Green Mountains, 4 hours from the mountains in New Hampshire. I'm drawing a blank right now in terms of what those mountains are called. The White Mountains comes to mind. I think that's right. If I'm not, I'm sure one of you folks out there will correct me. But there's just some incredible scenery in Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, Maine. But we are here in we are in Haddam, Connecticut. Looking over to East Haddam, Connecticut, and we'll see this better in a little bit. We got the Lady Catherine over there, where you can cruise up and down the Connecticut River, have dinner. I've never done that, but that's what they do. We've got those red buildings over there. That's a little airport where if I did capture the airplane just a second ago, that's where it landed. And hopefully over there, you know, just past a line of sight where you can see the Lady Catherine. That white building to your left is where the Goodspeed Opera House is over there. And that other building over there, I'm gonna say it's the Gelston House. I could be wrong on that, but there's a restaurant located there. As you can see, is very picturesque. A popular motorcycle route here today. I don't know where everyone is. I don't know where all the motorcyclists are. I think maybe they've been frightened away by the clouds, although it's not really supposed to rain here today. Yeah, but this is one of my favorite spots to come in and cruise. Very peaceful. So we're just gonna take a closer look over here. Another plane over there. I hear a motorcycle somewhere. Oh, they're over there going over the bridge. Let's just take a quick look over at the Connecticut River. And we're gonna be wrapping this up pretty soon. So in that direction, you'll eventually find yourself into the mouth of the Connecticut River, which spills into the Long Island Sound. Oh yeah, we get a chance to see an airplane landing. Nice. All right, folks, take care, and I hope to be with you soon again. Peace.